In the last part of our video, or the last part of our seminar, I left you a doozy one to try by yourself. Notice, first off, it's multiple choice, and none of my answers are really nice answers except for choice D. Well, let's go ahead and graph our two lines. We got 1/3 x plus 1, so I'm going to go up 1. I'm going to go up 1 and over 3. I'm going to go down 1 to the left 3, just so I can see my line a little bit nicer. What I'm really interested in is this point, my y-intercept of 0, 1. We'll talk about that in a second. My other line is going to be 1/3 x minus 2. So I go up 1 and to the right 3, and down 1 and to the left 3. And there's my parallel line. Now I know the slope of my perpendicular line has to be the negative reciprocal of my slope. Since my slope is 1 over 3, I know it's going to be negative 3 over 1. So let's draw in my perpendicular line through the point 0, 1. I could have just as well done negative 2, but I'm going to pick the first line. So I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Notice, unlike the last couple problems, it doesn't go through at a lattice point, does it? It's not a nice corner that it goes through. We got to find out where this intersects. I went too slow when I did that, so let me try that again. There we go. So I want to find out where that crosses. Well, I know the slope of my red line is going to be y equals negative 3x plus 1, because it has the same y-intercept as my first one, because I drew it that way. So I want to find the point where this line intersects y equals 1/3 x minus 2. So let's set those two equal to each other and solve it. So in other words, 1/3 x minus 2 equals negative 3x plus 1, because I know where they cross, they have to be the same. I hate fractions, so first thing I'm going to do is multiply everything by 3. So we get x minus 6 equals negative 9x plus 3. Multiply everything by 3. Let's move the smaller x, so I'm going to move the negative 9 to the other side. So I'm going to add 9x to both sides. So then we get 10x minus 6 equals 3. Let's add 6 to both sides. 10x equals 9. Divide both sides by 10. X is 9/10. Like I said, it's ugly. Now let's find the y-coordinate. I'm going to use my equation y equals negative 3x plus 1 to find y. I could have just as easily used 1/3 x minus 2, but I think we have enough fractions going on here. So y equals negative 3 times 9/10 plus 1. That line 9 kind of looks like a 6 does. Let me change that. So we get negative 27 over 10 plus 1. Well, let's simplify that. We need a common denominator. Common denominator is 10. Negative 27 is already over 10. 1 is 10 over 10. So we get negative 17 over 10. So I want to find, or not find, the point where those two cross is 9/10 and negative 17/10. Now I'm going to use that, and I'm going to find the distance between 0 and 1. So we're going to say, okay, let's use our distance formula. Distance is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So subtract your x's. That'll be 9/10 minus 0 squared plus negative 17 over 10 minus 1, because that's my y-intercept. Yep, that's my y-intercept, squared. Well, 9/10 minus 0 is 9/10. Negative 17 over 10 minus 10 over 10 because you need a common denominator. So now let's get the square root of 9/10 squared plus negative 27 over 10 squared. Well, 9/10 squared, that's 81 over 100. 27 squared, let's use our calculator for that. Clear out everything here, we don't need all that stuff. So 27 squared is 729. Well, we can add them, 81 plus 729, because they have a common denominator, is 810. So we get the square root of 810 over 100. Well, let's use our calculator now. So I'm going to take 810, I'm going to divide that by 100. Probably could have done that in my head, but we'll do it here. And we get 8.1. Let's take the square root of that. And we get 2.85. And if we look at our choices, 2.85 is choice C. That definitely left the ugliest problem for you to do by yourself. Hopefully you got it. If not, you're here checking out what you did wrong or how you do it.